Okay, so got those fingers snapped to the hands with vertices. So, like we normally would do, I'm just gonna come in. I'll start places. I got one selected back somewhere. Boom. I'll delete them. This off reference. All right. Oh, just go mode, combine them in all merge verts. Cool. All right. So now we're gonna start on thumb. Okay. We're gonna shape all this out. I know it looks really flat right now, but we're gonna start shaping it after we get a thumb in. Make sure we have all of our geometry we need in there. So your thumb, it's not like the rest of your fingers. Your explain this. All your fingers come off of your wrist, but they all of them meet together in the palm, and that's what forms your palm. Your thumb extrudes off of that, so it comes off your wrist still, but it comes off at an angle. So that's why we're doing the thumb separately from the rest of them. Why we didn't just take this and duplicate it, because obviously it looks different, and the anatomy of it's a lot different. So we want to have that represented in the modeling as well. Sorry, just fixing up some stuff here. Yeah, and you can come back and start fixing up some of the positioning after you've merged this together. Not a huge thing, but I don't know. It's bothering me right now. Okay, moving on. Back to the thumb. So same thing, we're taking a 2x2 cube, and we're going to position it to where we need it to. Um, and I'm going to start taking it and having it come out at an angle. Go ahead and let's put it there, and I'll put one there, and there. Cool. There's the start of our thumb. Mode. I'm just gonna move my pivot up. It's about the same size. I'm just gonna soften these a little bit differently. I'm just gonna select those edge loops and bring them in. It's a weird shape by hand. Now, a lot of people's thumbs, they flare out at the end, so they tend to be a lot chubbier. I'm just gonna grab that. Yeah, scale it up a little bit. And I'll just grab this edge loop a little bit. Scale. Cool. That's fine. Let's take these, pull them back a little. Sweet. Alright. So I'm going to show you a different way you can do a nail, as opposed to the up and over that I did there. Do is we'll just insert an edge loop there, and then I'm gonna grab these faces. I'm gonna extrude them, and I'm just gonna scale them in a little bit. Them out, and I'll take them and kind of play with, and then grab, and then extrude again. Oh, and I'll move it forward a little bit. I smooth it. Nail. So that's another way to go about making a nail. So I'm just use these edge loops a little bit since I have them there. Might as well start straightening these a little bit. Cool. And that's our thumb. So go ahead and I'll put another edge loop down here. All right. Again, I'm going to take the hand, adjust it. Awesome. So let's go delete these faces. We'll do the same thing on this guy. For its transforms history, we're going to combine them and then reverse together. All right. So we're going to start just positioning this a little bit and shaping the palm to be more like a hand. So your thumb will actually like curl down a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into face mode. And I'm going to hit B on my keyboard. So I'm going to hit the little tool options here. Oops. Um, so if you don't know what B is, that's soft selection. So right here in our tool settings, we can see it right there. We have different ways we can do it. We do it volume, surface, global, object. I usually stick to volume or surface. Volume will reach out in 3D space. Surface, it'll only leach forward on a continuous surface. So I'm going to do surface. Up a little bit. Right. Yeah, that's fine. And I'm going to get my rotation. The rotation about here. Down a little bit. And I'm pretty much going to do the same thing on this side, except not as drastic. So I'll probably bring my settings down a little. Alright, cool. So, rotation. Sweet. Let me bring soft selection down. So there's just some nice transition there. And then I'm just going to pull this up on that a little bit. Face mode, actually, and do that. Cool. Alright. That's not perfect, but you know what? It works pretty well. Something I could do too. Vertex mode. We could start to straighten these up a little bit if we want to, but I'm not going to do that actually. Because the next thing we have to do is we have to tear these down, and we have to get this right here down to about an 8-point junction. So that's going to be fun times. Actually, I'm not done shaping this. This needs to be rounded out more. I'm actually going to grab these and I'm going to extrude it out. so I have a little bit more. And when you have less geometry, this will be easier to shape too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this up. Alright, so our goal is to get all this down to 8 points. So here's how we're going to go about doing it. I'm going to select every other edge. Actually, that side and this one. On that side. So I'm going to hold down Shift right click, merge collapse, collapse edges. Boom. Alright, now I need to get the rest of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select on one side. This is a nice little trick. I'm going to hold down Control right click. I'm going to go to edge ring utilities to edge ring. That's going to go all the way around top there. So I don't have to pick through all of them. I'll just collapse them again. Okay. Now we're pretty much going to do the same thing over again. Except we're only going to get 2. Collapse that. Actually, I'm not going to do that. Collapse. Just trying to think how I want to go about doing this. Let's do this one. This one. Collapse. Okay, and then done with that. Let's do it here. Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna get this center one here. Yeah. And edge ring. Collapse that down. There we go. Now we have our 8-point junction. So obviously we're gonna have to reshape a little bit of stuff here. So here's what we're gonna do now. Come through. Now I'm gonna delete that edge. That edge. some with these. So the goal is to avoid tries as much as possible. When we smooth them out, looks like that, which, actually that's not too bad, because that kind of looks like knuckles. Maybe keep those tries on there. I decided we're going to keep those tries there. Let's look. We could fix a little bit on that one. But like I said, we're going to do some work on this area here. Because if you look at your palm, super meaty. So we want to kind of get that in there too. Let's go to Vert 10. Just because I want a little bit more options for my shaping. I'm going to select those guys. I'm going to isolate my selection. And let's see. Yeah, let's do cut faces. I can always go back if I don't like it. Turn my isolation off. I don't like the way that looks when it's smooth, so I'm just going to undo that. We won't do that. Cool. So I just need to make this hand a little bit fatter. Sweet. Now his hand looks kind of neat. So let's see what we can do. Scale it up. It's better already. Let's see if we can do it with it doesn't mess up the angles and stuff. There's this guy called transformed component. Let's see what that gives us. There we go. So it makes everything a little bit fatter. So what this does is it moves the vertices in their forward, whatever way their normal face is. If you're pulling on the Z, and this will move it up according to their normal. So that's a transform component. If you missed that, it's super useful when you're trying to make things fat, but they're oddly shaped, so they look all weird. I'm digging that more. Cool. Alright, so another thing we'd come in and do, because we have digits here, and they're going to bend, we need to make sure that there's geometry in there to support it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go through these edge loops here, select them, and I'm not going to do it on these guys, I'll do it differently, but just bevel these. Oops. There you go. And if you want to add more geometry or whatever and make it more rounded, you can. But that should be enough for these guys. For these digits here, I'm just going to do an insert edge loop tool. And then on this, because your thumb bends down and in, we're going to do something else in here as well. So it'll be supported. So split, oops. Oops. Don't want to only split from edge. There we go. It's the long way. Here. Just shape these guys a little bit. Sweet. Oh, cool. And then we'll just put some tree knuckles here. So go there, there. Oh, I changed my offset just a little bit. Go. Sweet. And now we're done with the hand. I'm just gonna delete these guys right now. And then for transforms history, save it up. Scale it. And So that's obviously way too big. So we're going to scale it in. um, right. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to kind of flatten it out a little bit. Because your forearm is more of a square shape than a rounded shape, rectangular. Cool. Scale this guy that way, I guess, a little bit. So I'm gonna approach this one a little bit differently than the other ones. Alright, so I deleted those faces on the interior. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by going to object mode, selecting both of these, combining them right off the bat, and then this is what I'm going to do instead. Because there's just a big disparity between the sizes, like where they are. So I'm just going to grab two verts I want to merge, shift right click. Oh, let's try that again. Shift right click, merge vertices to center. And they merge together, and they meet wherever in the middle they need to. So just hit G all the way through on this. Select them. And remember, you only want to select two at a time. Because otherwise, if you select multiples, they're going to be pulling vertices you don't want to be. Go. Soften it. And, alright, cool. So, history. Save this up. So next we will be working on the head, and that is much more involved than the hand. So strap in.